I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince!
And it's time once again
to recommend things.
We're Pop Culture Comics in Overland Park, Kansas, our official sponsor, and now we're going to recommend some things. Vince.
Yes.
What do you recommend today?
I'm recommending something that you probably won't find at Pop Culture Comics, although they do have lots of really cool stuff here. I got this earlier today, or picked it up from the library. It is the 1925 Phantom of the Opera starring Lon Chaney. And I highly recommend this thing. I mean, I think that silent pictures are things that people tend to, or at least younger generations tend to shy away from, thinking that they're not going to enjoy them as much. But it's paced well, it's interesting, put yourself in the mindset of the time where makeup effects are not necessarily what they are today. And think about how difficult it is for a guy that looks like Lon Chaney to become this creature that he turns himself into. I mean, the guy even put chemicals in his eyes to dilate his eyes. He has like fish hooks and wire to pull his nose up behind his head. He found some sort of false teeth and made them into sharp, pointed teeth to make himself look more like a creature. It's really interesting. And something to pay attention to while you're watching the movie is the use of Lon Chaney's hands. I mean, he's got these narrow fingers that are just, it's menacing in ways that you wouldn't expect it to be menacing. If you expect it to be like a modern horror movie where Freddy Krueger jumps out and says, "Ah, gotcha," and everybody jumps because they're expecting to. That's not this. That's not going to happen when you're watching this kind of a horror movie. But it's suspenseful. It takes place in Paris, I believe. Yeah, the Paris Opera House. And I think most people know the story behind the Phantom of the Opera. He's haunting an opera, and he's not really a phantom. He's just a crazed guy who lives in the opera. And so I don't feel like I'm ruining anything by telling you that. But it's it's not Andrew Lloyd Webber's or whatever that Roger and Hammerstein, whoever did the musical. It's not that. This is a horror movie. The Phantom is not a guy that you feel sorry for. The Phantom is a creature. You feel sorry for the people that are trying to deal with the Phantom. And it's interesting. I think you guys should check it out. This particular copy has 2 discs. It has a restored version that was found in 1929, and it has the original feature from 1925. You can also find colorized versions. But when it comes to black and white pictures, look at a black and white picture in black and white. Colorized,
yeah,
it's so bizarre. I feel like I'm watching something that somebody colored in crayon. When it's annoying. Don't do that. Stop making colorized versions of things.
Well, plus, it's not like it was intended to ever be seen in color.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that they made colorized versions of things was or at least initially, was because they got color television at the time, and they wanted to have these old pictures.
Well, and I don't know, I've not read up on the history of that particular film, but I mean, like, even back then, you had, this was happening with silent films even, I mean, you had some colorized versions of silent films at the time where they'd go in, frame by frame and color them. And there were some movies that were actually made and intended to be done that way. You know what I'm saying? But something like that, I mean, was shot in black and white, and they knew it was black and white, and it probably was intended to be that way. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of silly. It's sort of like coloring a black and white comic book.
Yeah, it's really odd, and it's exactly that way. Although there are some interesting things that happen in the colorized version, considering that they have the Phantom put on this skull costume, not entirely unlike the Crimson Ghost's costume, and so they color it red, and it's supposed to. Apparently, red is supposed to be part of this character at that time, and because it's black and white, you can't see the red. But it's interesting nonetheless. So I'm done.
Well, I'm going to recommend something entirely different. Today I'm going to recommend something that you can get at Pop Culture Comics. In fact, this is a copy that is here right now at Pop Culture Comics. This is the Venom trade of Ultimate Spider-Man. This collects 33 to 39. And let me preface this by saying that I've not read very much Ultimate Spider-Man at all.
And I've read all of it.
And I've been meaning to go back and finally do it. And the other day I was in the store, and I was looking for something to read, and I decided to go ahead and just on a whim pick this up because I'm a big Venom fan, and I wanted to see how they did Venom in Ultimate. So I decided to go ahead and just try it without any knowledge of of anything before, and it reads fine. So if you've not read any Ultimate, and you're just curious like me, hey, how'd they do Venom? This is easy to pick up and just read. If you find, I don't know if this is in paperback or not. We've got a hard copy here, but I don't know if this particular trade is in paperback, but it may be, because the thing is they do these in volumes.
Yeah, I got mine in paperback. So.
Okay, cool. But I'm just saying I don't know if that is Spider-Man Venom or if it is number 5 or 6 or whatever.
It'll
it
be
is.
number
You see what I'm saying?
number whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying that is technically a different trade. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I thought this was quite good. I really like that. I really like the relationship between Peter Parker and Eddie Brock in this. I like that they're childhood friends at first, and I really especially dig that Peter Parker doesn't remember that. That's one of the neatest things about it, I thought, is that, when they were kids, their fathers were scientists together, and it turns out that they put together the Venom symbiote as a cure for cancer, and that you were supposed to be able to wear this suit, and then it would cure you of cancer, and that was originally the whole idea. And so they had a picnic, and Peter finds this tape of the Brocks and the Parkers having this picnic and them playing together. He's like, oh, I don't remember this, and he was too young. He just didn't remember, and that really deepened the mystery of Eddie Brock, because inevitably, regardless of all of the things that are changed in this version, that Eddie Brock is going to be Venom. If Eddie Brock is in the first issue that mentions Venom, he's probably going to turn into Venom. Unlike later on, apparently, where you have Carnage, but there is no Cletus Cassidy except mentioned in one random place. Somewhere random, and where Carnage doesn't even have a host. But anyway, so which I've not read, but I've read up on.
They've not done Carnage in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just occurred to me that it's been a long time since I've mentioned it.
And so what's cool about it is Eddie Brock starts off as this just really, really, really nice guy who just wants to help Peter find, connect with his past and connect with his parents. And as it goes along, you find out that he's not quite as nice and awesome as you initially think that he is. And I don't know, that happens a little bit abruptly for me. I think the one thing that I would criticize it for is that there is sort of this light switch moment where we suddenly find out, oh, Eddie Brock is not the nicest guy in the world, and I would have liked a little bit more hints leading up to that, because inevitably you figure that's going to happen. But again, the thing that really deepens the mystery is Eddie really is acting really deeply like he wants to be Peter's friend, almost creepily, almost in a creepy way, and because Peter doesn't remember them being friends, you don't know much. So that's kind of neat. And then he it all happens really fast. Like it's not like the Black Costume Saga where Peter Parker has the costume for a long time and then and then he eventually gets rid of it. He has it for a night. And then Eddie Brock gets angry because he lied to him about stuff, which is neat, because you've got a Peter Parker who I think is maybe even a little more flawed than your regular Amazing Spider-Man Peter Parker in a lot of places, or maybe just more bad things happen to him in this universe. I'm not sure, but
they have a lot of stuff to work with, and they're trying to get through all of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I would have I really liked it. I think I would have preferred there to be a couple other stories in between this. You know what I mean? Where Eddie Brock's around for a while and then he becomes Venom, as opposed to he shows up and then 3 days later they're enemies, which is kind of how it feels in this. But anyway, all in all, it's so different from regular continuity, and they have such a different kind of relationship. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was cool.
Ultimate Spidey's solid. I recommend all of it except for the stuff that revolves around Ultimatum. Yep.
Well, anyway, thanks a lot for watching us recommend things, and we'll recommend something for you once again next week. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.